Hey guys, Hailey Lain aka Key Black here, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Cuff. And once again, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I do want to continue talking about Slayers, and this time I want to talk about the Slayers light novels. Specifically, the two audiobooks that have thus been produced by the J Novel Club. Monpian clued us into the fact that these light novels were now being adapted into audiobooks and being narrated by Lisa Ortiz, the voice of Lena Inverse in the English dub of the anime. Personally, I've never really been into light novels before. I've never really dipped my toes into it, so it's kind of my first time, entering this sort of genre, I guess. I'm also very impatient, so I haven't read a new book in a long time, but I love audiobooks because I can have them on in the background while I'm doing other stuff. So I'm like, this is perfect. I'm on a Slayers kick. I want more of it. Yeah, you know what? I want to see what it was like in the original books. And that is the thing. The Slayers was originally the light novel series before it was adapted into an anime, so it has been very interesting because I wasn't sure what the differences were going to be. You know, plot-wise, obviously there were probably going to be some differences, but I also wasn't sure, is the tone going to be different? Is it going to be, just as lighthearted and whimsical as the anime was, which, charmed the socks off of me? And I am happy to say that I cannot decide which, between the light novels that I've listened to and the animes that I've seen, I like better. I'm a very visual person. I like watching stuff. I like seeing the visual gags and the physical comedy and stuff like that. But the books themselves are incredibly charming, and the way that they're written, it's from Lena's first-person perspective, so it's all in her voice, not just because Lisa Ortiz is reading it, but it's from... it really feels as though it's this is Lena's version of the story. So it's extremely charming. There's still that kind of vibe of playing a D&D session, but it also has kind of some notes that remind me of, if you've ever seen Japanese comedy routines, it feels like a combination between playing a tabletop role-playing game and that. So, but in addition to that, I've also been enjoying there's subtle differences between the way that the characters are portrayed in the books and the anime. I talked about the villains previously, in particular Rezo, Copy Rezo, and Halciform. Rezo, the original Rezo, and Halciform are the ones that are featured in the two first books of Slayers, and they are doubly as scary. What I didn't really get into detail with Halciform is that I did mention the book's plot is different from the anime's plot. The anime kind of developed that plot into only a handful of episodes and adapted half of it into kind of a comedy between the two sorcerers who were vying for Halciform's former seat, right? In the book, it is a lot darker. There's a lot more intrigue to it, and I have to say, I think I prefer the book plot version of it more. I was sad that Zelgadis and Amelia weren't involved in that one because, I am a massive Zelgadis fan. I like the edgy characters as usual, and Zelgadis fits the bill perfectly. In the first book, he was very much fun. He's called Rezo's Mad Swordsman in the first book, which I'm just going ooh, that's pretty cool. Unabashedly think the edgelord, who's actually a secret softie, is really cool. I love that kind of character. But in addition, I like that the characters have a little bit more depth to them in the books, in ways that I guess only words can describe. I'm also a little bit surprised that some of my favorite characters from the anime also just don't straight up appear in the books at all. I mentioned Amelia and Zelgadis don't appear in book 2, but also Zangelis, Brummagem, and Martina straight up don't exist in the books at all. I was very surprised about that because of how seamlessly they fit into the plot of the anime, and I'm a little sad about that, I guess, but at the same time, it's you know what? I'm not complaining. The plot didn't feel like it was missing anything between the two of them. I'm just more amazed that, the anime writers were able to come up with characters that fit into the world as it was presented in the book and adapt the plots from the books into completely different, tones in certain spots, but still keep the spirit of the story intact. So it's kind of fun going backwards from the anime into, okay, where did all this stuff start, and see where everything, what the original intent was versus what the anime did with it. And besides, I liked Rod Lance in book 2. They were a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed seeing the original versions of Dilgir, Zolf, and Rodimus in book 1. Oh man, all in all though guys, extremely fun books. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend them. Again, I've only listened to the first 2, but I'm really looking forward to more. And I really hope they keep doing the entire series this way because I love getting to hear Lisa Ortiz play Lena again from the beginning of the series through. It's just been a lot of fun. So guys, thanks so much for listening and for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Off the Cuff. And until then, I hope you have a good one.